We finally got the third installment in the Avatar series. This time, it's Avatar Fire and Ash. Let's dive in. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Movie Dive. Today we're diving into Avatar Fire and Ash. Before we do, please don't forget to subscribe to the Movie Dive and ring the bell button down below to get notifications on the channel. So James Cameron is back. He has dedicated what? Now almost 20 years of his life doing Avatar. I think it probably is 20 years with pre-production of the first movie. That one came out in 2009. James Cameron, of course, being the legendary director of films such as Terminator, Terminator 2, Titanic, The Abyss. Before we get into this review, I'm going to say it right now, I'm not the biggest fan of the Avatar movies. I feel like people fall on two different spectrums. Some that say that they're theatrical masterpieces and some that wonder why they're such a big deal and why they make so much money. I fall more in line over there. I'm not in full hatred of parts of these movies, but I'm also not a fanboy of the films. And I'm definitely going to get into that with this review of Fire and Ash. Way of Water came out in 2002, which was a whole 13 years after the original, after delay, after delay, after delay, which at the moment was definitely getting me a little agitated because I believe James Cameron is a terrific director, making two of my favorite movies, being Terminator 2 and being Titanic. You can still watch Titanic to this day and it holds up and it looks amazing compared to all the other movies you'll see in the movie theaters. I definitely understood the original Avatar, even though the story might have been a little bit bland, even was like Pocahontas or Dancing with Wolves. It was still something that we've not really seen before going into the world of Pandora, especially with James Horner's soundtrack booming over the whole movie. So even though it wasn't the most original script or the most original story, it was something that I would say the masses could all enjoy. And when I said I was annoyed with James Cameron in the past, is that then he took 13 years of his life finally making the next Avatar movie. It felt like every single 2 years I heard stories of, I'm going to make 5 Avatar movies, I'm going to make 10 Avatar movies, and they kept getting pushed back and kept getting pushed back. I think he was trying to wait for the right technology for the movie. And when The Way of Water came out, which is a good 3-hour long movie, there's a good hour chunk in the middle of that film that I legit found myself falling asleep. No matter how gorgeous it looked, I just was not enthralled by the characters. I did not care about the characters on the screen. I did not find myself really caring if one of them dies or if one of them lives. So of course that was going to be a big worry going into Fire and Ash, is that I was not the biggest fan of the second film. The first film I thought was good, but not some masterpiece as some people might call it. And it taking James Cameron away from making other original movies kind of put a sour taste in my mouth for the whole franchise. I know if this movie does well, he might do the 4th and 5th movie as well. So basically the rest of James Cameron's life is just Avatar. A lot of returning cast members in this film. Zoe Saldana returns, Sam Worthington returns, who doesn't do any other movies but these Avatar, Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lang, and we have newcomer in this film, Oana Chaplin, who is playing the main villain. And I will say right now that she is the best part of the movie in my opinion. And although she is the villain and the best part of the movie, they don't concentrate on her and her tribe as much as you think that they would in a 3-hour long movie. This feels just more of a straight up sequel to Way of Water. And this movie looks so gorgeous. The CGI is so well done. You will not see better CGI in any movie than you do in Fire and Ash. It even looks way better than it did in The Way of Water. There's some moments when they're in the forest or swimming and I can't tell if it's real or fake. But then again, always the avatars, I can tell those are CGI, which takes me back to not really caring about what happens to these characters. And I knew about 15 minutes into this movie that I was going to be in for a rough time, checking my watch every 15 to 20 minutes or so, really just wishing that this movie would end. And I know I said before that a lot of people love this movie, a lot of people might love these movies, but this is one that kind of pushed me over the edge of, I don't know if I can do it anymore because I do not care about what happens to anyone on screen. I feel like all the stories are rehashed. We have seen it before. And since it's been a story going on for over 15 years now, it's like, all right, let's get through this already. Stephen Lang, Sam Worthington are still in this battle against each other. You have the Way of Water kind of teenage kids. One of them says bro all the time. They have these teenage kid haircuts, which I don't know why aliens on another planet would have that. And it really feels to me like an older director telling you, this is how teenagers act. I'm one of the cool kids too. I know how to relate to you guys. The CGI can only take you so far. It's like watching a really good cutaway scene from a video game that has good CGI. But this is for 3 hours and 15 minutes long. Big thing of these films is if we just made it 2 hours long, I would easily be able to bear through it. There was many scenes I was watching during the new Avatar movie where I thought to myself, we could take that out, we could take that out, we could take that out, and this movie would have no difference to it whatsoever. Again, Fire and Ash is so much better made than so many of the films out there. I would say 99.9% of the films out there. We got introduced to the character Spider in Way of Water. He's even more prominently featured in Fire and Ash, and I just don't think he was a good actor. actor. I think his character seems very soap opera-y. So every single time he's on screen, I'm supposed to feel for him. I just don't. I think it's corny. I think some of the dialogue ridiculous and over the top. There was one particular scene in Fire and Ash I thought was really cool. It was an action scene, maybe about 65% into the movie. There was one where Jake Sully was in a predicament, and I really liked that scene. That was probably my favorite of the movie. I was hoping for the rest of the film we're going to go down that line. We didn't. We went back to what felt like the same exact climax of the second film. I know this has felt like a massive put down of this film, and again, it's better than 99.9% of the movies out there, at least in terms of how it's made. It's just the resources and everything just has me angry because I just don't feel anything when I watch this movie, and I'm sitting there for 3 hours waiting for the film to end, even though if it is gorgeous to look at. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Avatar Fire and Ash a 50 out of 100. You guys let me know what you thought about it. Are you absolutely in love with it? Is it your favorite one? Is it your least favorite one? Let me know in the comments. We'll see you next time on The Movie Dive.